Hello everyone, this is Mercator825 and this is another online battle from Rome 2 Total War. I am playing as Scythia, I think is the name, and my opponent is playing as the Arverni. This is a quick match. Let me introduce you to the armies from here, as I think it's gonna be easier. He has 2 units of noble cav, 2 units of heavy cavalry, 2 units of spear warriors, 2 units of sword masters or chosen swordsmen, and 2 units of Oathsworn. Then he has 3 units of Celtic skirmishers. On my part I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units of these steppe horse riders and 2 units of these royal horse archers. Then I have 1, 2, 3, 4 units of these noble lancers, steppe noble lancers. Then this unit of steppe lancers, and 3 units of Scythian royal cavalry. So, as I have a pretty powerful skirmish component based on these horse archers, I'm gonna exploit it and start moving forward, always on heavy shot, because to make damage to noble cav and heavy cavalry you must be in heavy shot to get more damage. So I will use the speed of my horses and heavy shot to inflict as much casualties as possible. Look at this, here he is running for the trees, and that's very intelligent. That's what he should have done, well, what he should do to get some cover, and I'm using that into my advantage, and getting some shots at the backs of his soldiers. Like here, for example, a chosen swordsman, a very expensive unit, has lost already 18 men. So, this is a quick battle. There's a timer of 20 minutes, so I will be looking at that to get... Yeah, this is the timer of the replay. I try to get some time to win the battle, because if not, it will end up in a draw. And basically, most of the battle is this, me moving forth and back with my archers, skirmishing, especially with his cavalry, that he leaves them out in the open. He shouldn't have done this. Yeah, he picked the Arverni. I think, sorry for this, but I think this is not an intelligent move, because their strength is their infantry, and when you are playing this kind of battles you must look at your opponent's army and your opponent's faction especially, and think what are their strengths and weaknesses, and so decide you, because this faction is heavy on infantry, for example. So if you pick this faction to fight with the Scythians that are heavy on cavalry, they will be in a huge disadvantage. You have to think about those things. You can beat Scythia with Arverni, of course you can. It is possible, but it's quite difficult. More difficult at least than if you are using Parthia, maybe yeah, one of these eastern factions would be great to fight against them. Or even a pike faction, and make a pike box, new box, as it is normally called, probably with some onagers inside. Onagers are very effective against cavalry. My biggest fear when I was in the loading screen was to get an opponent with 3 or more Gallic onagers, because they could destroy my cavalry. But he didn't, and so he has to pay the price now. So I have already killed this unit. There are 2 men left, let's see if they make it. No. Wow. They got completely destroyed. Shower with arrows. So now he has 3 cavalry units left, and they are still here in the open. Again, he should have pulled them back in the woods with the rest of his army. He shouldn't. Now they are isolated and they are vulnerable to missiles, so I will keep skirmishing. Let's give you some insert action. Let's see if we can catch the army firing over there. Yeah, there we go. So, when you are playing against the Masakitai or Scythia or the Roxolani as well, you must take into account these things. They are nomad factions, and so they are very heavy on cavalry. They have just cavalry, so keep that in mind to choose your armies in that way. And just if you didn't know this, historical fact, the Scythians, they are called like that because of their arrows. In their arrows they use, this is precision shot. In the arrows they have kind of a poison called Scythian that affects your central system and kills you very rapidly. So from what I've heard, the Scythians take their name from that kind of poison called Scythian. Just if you didn't know this. Okay, so his cavalry is almost gone. Well, there's still a pretty healthy number, but they have paid the price. And he is coming again to meet me. He shouldn't be doing this. It is working against him. My horse archers have Parthian shot, which means they can fire all around them. They have these 360 degrees arc of fire, so they can fire at the cavalry while they are being chased. Yeah, it is not a good idea. But check this, he's running in very thin lines, and that's a good idea. Look, did you see that? A lot of my arrows went over the heads of these horses, and that's because they are in very thin lines. If this formation had been thicker, these arrows would have fit in the soldiers behind these ones, and then this is weird. As it didn't happen in the real battle, this didn't happen. No, it didn't. So weird. Maybe I lost it. Yeah, probably I did. Yeah, so apparently he got a charge on me. It was my fault. Probably it happened. So, no, it didn't happen. What the hell? This unit should have been dead already, because I killed all the cavalry before making these moves. Oh man. Yeah, look at this. They are standing still over here. That's so weird. I thought the replays were repaired and they weren't corrupted anymore. Well, at least you can see some key animations, I suppose. But they should have been out of there. In the actual battle they were dead. And now my opponent's in the tree, so whoops. I need to look for him, and I don't really know where he is, so that's gonna take quite a long time. You can see I'm moving this body over here and this one over there, so basically what I'm doing is hunting the Arverni. I'm running all across the forest in this line, so anything can escape from my horsemen, and I will keep running through the forest like that until I find them, and here I finally see them. So I will take my time. Hopefully this battle ends the way it ended, because that corruption annoyed me a lot. It was quite sad. So he has everything prepared, his spears at the front, then his skirmishers, and then his oathsworn and his chosen swordsmen. But I have my cavalry running around. So he's in a very, very bad position right now. He has just infantry, 2 spears, the rest of them are swordsmen, and I have shock cavalry, melee cavalry. I still have some ammo, nothing outstanding. I'm running out of ammo, but I have some. Yeah, he's definitely in trouble. And right now is when I move my cavalry forward. Let's give you a close-up of them. And I make a charge. And check this. They were facing the opposite direction. This is a very, very big mistake. If they have been in the other position, they might be braced and then reduce their casualties. I don't know. For a moment I thought he abandoned and he was doing something else, and so he didn't move his units, but check this out. He pulled all these stuff, so he was definitely there. Don't know what he did. I have this unit over here. I mismanaged them. I was doing other things and I forgot to give an attack order, so they are taking their time to enter in melee. And here's my melee cavalry. Talking about melee, I wanted them to join the fight later to get a quick and devastating charge with trample and all these things with my shock cavalry. And now that most of my ammo is out, I will charge in melee with my horse archers as well. And look, the whole Arverni army is about to collapse here in the woods. So this replay was fairly accurate, but there are still some things that didn't happen as they should, and that's sad. It's making me think about it. I don't know why it happened. But anyway, here you have the kills, and yeah, I lost less men actually. I lost about 115 men, something like that, so yeah. The file is definitely corrupted, but here you have the kills, my horse archers getting lots of kills, and check this. These royal horse archers cost way more than these steppe horse archers. And look at the kills. More or less they have the same number. Well, these guys have more individually, but some of these steppe horse archers still got a lot of kills. Yeah, probably they have the same use. I think it's better to come with 4 of these units than with 2 of these ones. My melee cavalry getting little kills, they enter the fight later on. My shock cavalry, they got this trample charge on the rear of my opponent's troops, and still got a low amount of kills. This one not, but the other ones, nothing special. On my opponent's part, well, he didn't kill that many men, because this army is designed for fighting infantry mostly. The Arverni, as I will say it again, are heavy infantry faction, not a heavy horse faction, so you shouldn't be facing Arverni with Royal Skyria. But anyway, some kills over there and there with his swordsmen. And yeah, this is the battle, so hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you later.